High in Hillbrow in Johannesburg. Dozens of residents face eviction at Norvena Court. That's a place they've called home for years. Community members have declared the evictions unlawful, claiming that the company carrying them out didn't follow due process. Newzroom Afrika Zola Sholwana was there for us just earlier this morning at around 9 o'clock. Zola, 2 hours later, what's unfolded over the past morning?
Well, Michelle, we have seen, of course, private security and a gentleman who refused to tell us who he is, basically, evicting some of the residents here. According to the information that we're receiving from some of the residents, they are saying that this building is allegedly owned by Joshko, and we are told by the MMC of Human Settlements in the city of Johannesburg that this building is privately owned. But let's actually get to hear from the residents. Mama, hello. MMC are building a private property.
No, even now it's still a social house. Social house under Eshraf. It's a social house. If they said it's not a social house, when they did transfer, we need to know that.
Yes. Thank you very much for your time. And of course, there is, a lot that's quite happening at this moment. Perhaps you can hear from the lawyer representing residents.
Well aware of their rights that are accorded to themselves, so that they can be able to know as to what are the reasons for them to be evicted and on what basis, on what underlying order are they being evicted from the premises. But if the sheriff says that he has no business with me, he doesn't want to explain himself to me, he doesn't want to show me the orders that he's relying on, he doesn't want to show me the warrants that he's executing, he doesn't want to share his details with me, then unfortunately that becomes the end of it. From here on going forward, Ms. Madala, that is the attorney, who has instructed me to be here to try and understand as to on what basis is evictions being carried out, because they are pending appeals, leave to appeals that are before High Court. Then he will have to take instructions from them, and then they then decide what needs to be done. The only thing that I was instructed to do was to caution the sheriff to say the leave to appeals were served, and these are the underlying reasons as to why did we elect to serve your office. We served your office because the very same clients that Ms. Madala has, they accuse the office of the sheriff of having committed erroneous acts in the past where they did not even, where they flouted all processes and all the systems that are in place in terms of the law. That's why we took an initiative to serve the office of the sheriff with the appeal, so that they can know that there is a pending appeal, and because of the pending appeal, there is no eviction that needs to be carried out. Those are principles that every sheriff knows. They are underlying principles that are in terms of Section 18 of the Superior Court Act that says that when you file a leave to appeal automatically suspend operation of an order. You can't execute an order that is a subject matter to an appeal, because appeal stops that up until the court has made a determination on the appeal. That's the first. Then the second, that we also advise them that now that they have accepted the mandate to evict these people in this manner, we will then reserve our rights to lay a formal complaint with the Board of Sheriffs, because they are the regulatory body that regulates this behavior. With the complaint having the underlying one, that the deputy sheriff that was on site refused to identify himself to both myself and the tenants that are involved, including the office of Ms. Madala. They refused to identify themselves. It was witnessed in all of our presence. Two, that they refused to provide us with the court orders that they are saying that they are carrying out for all this unit. Three, they confirmed that they don't have a warrant of ejectment authorized by the registrar of the court, authorizing the sheriff that he can carry out the eviction as per the order. All of that was confirmed, and they said that they have nothing to say to me. Any other thing that I need to do, I can blindly do it, because they are not going to account to me, they are not going to account to the residents, notwithstanding the fact that the sheriff is not a messenger of the attorneys that sent him to come and evict these people. He's the messenger of the court. He's accountable to the court. He needs to go back to the court and say, I've explained the processes, I've carried the mandate, and this is how I've carried my mandate, diligently so. He has failed to do that, which leaves the residents with no alternative but unfortunately to approach the court again and liaise all this frustration with the court. The second, be it to go and report the conduct and the behavior of the sheriff, and also that of the instructing attorneys, because how on earth do you execute orders that are a subject matter to an appeal? That is being disingenuous, and more than any other thing, that is doing and carrying yourself in a manner of a behavior. So all of that is subject to that. The issue of what he says is interference. You saw, these people are already evicted. There is no interference whatsoever. In fact, properties are still coming out of this building. There is no interference whatsoever. All of this is just an excuse to be able to say, I could not account because these people attacked me or they intimidated me. We could not have done so. They are officers of the law. Our fathers here who are guarding our behavior, they are here to make sure that there is no criminality that is going on. Should I have intimidated the sheriff, or my friend here intimidated the sheriff, or any other person, they would have arrested him. Should we have attacked them? They would have arrested them.
Well, that is the lawyer that's representing residents that are facing eviction at this particular moment. As it stands, their belongings out in the streets, and many of them are worried. Where will they spend, their night today, basically, because they have nowhere to stay. They don't have alternative accommodation, and really at this particular moment, there's no direction as to what's going to happen moving forward. We are hoping to hear from perhaps someone from the MMC's office about the situation that's happening here, and also get to hear from the landlord, because no one has come forward to say, I'm the owner of this property, as we understand that according to Human Settlements in Johannesburg, this property is private property. Back to you in studio.